Florian Wirtz, here we go to Liverpool for a Premier League record, 150 million euros. Our reaction is coming right up. Let's get it. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Noisy Neighbours podcast. Christian, this evening we have got reports coming out on social media that the mini transfer saga with Florian Wirtz is over. Liverpool have reached an agreement with Bayer Levurkusen for 150 million euro, including add-ons. Not sure how that's broken down, but I think either way it's completely smashed the Premier League record, which I believe is Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
121 million euro. This is according to transfermarket.co.uk, so don't shoot the messenger. So it's smashed it by 30 million, if those figures are correct. I mean, look, this is it's been coming. It's not like a massive shock, but we've done a few videos on this. Obviously, your club was heavily interested in Wirtz.
Yeah.
Seemingly, he has picked Liverpool project over City. Now it's done? What's your initial reaction to this? It's an absolute blockbuster move by Liverpool.
It is, yeah. I think it's a statement move, and it's one we've not really been accustomed to seeing from Liverpool. You know, when you talk about the marquee signings and the big money, you've not really seen Liverpool move like this before. I know they had that bid in the past for Caicedo, which obviously didn't end up happening, which I'm pretty sure they're happy about right now, looking at who they've gone and got. I think, this is huge. Make no mistake, you know, we're used to seeing the likes of Real Madrid when we see these sort of transfers, or, you know, my club, dare I say it. Liverpool have seriously put a foot down here, and you know, this is a marquee signing. This boy is probably one of the most coveted number 10s in recent history. Make no mistake, City were in for him, and it looks like he's picked the Liverpool project. I do think he's going to fit in well. Obviously, there is a lot of question marks on where he'll play. Is it going to be a false nine? Is he going to come in and maybe they drop one of the midfielders? Who knows? I do think, you know, you look at his play style. He reminds me that, you know, obviously there was a lot of talk about the De Bruyne thing because of the obvious hole in our team. I actually think more like a David Silva in the way his close control. He doesn't mind players getting close to him. He relies on his low centre of gravity, how he can wriggle out of situations. It looks like he's lost the ball and he somehow still retains it. Very good dribbler, neat technician. Mate, this is an exciting deal for Liverpool fans. I don't blame them for being hyped. And, you know, when other teams are chasing you and you win the league and you go and spend £150 million on the most coveted number 10 in football currently, you're saying we're here to stay. So, you know, fair play. What do you think, bro?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that I've been pretty consistent over my reaction to Wirtz from the summer, regardless of who's linked with, be it Bayern, City or Liverpool. I'm not going to change that now just because Liverpool have pulled it off. I think that the main reservations around signing a player for 150 million euros from the Bundesliga is that it's from the Bundesliga. Yeah. Now, we don't know how this is going to play out. Now, my opinion right now, and we'll review this in a few months when he's played his first 10 games, is when you look at the big time flops from the Bundesliga, we've got Sancho, we've got Nkunku, we've got Werner, we've got even like your sort of Mkhitaryan's and stuff like that. Not that they were on the sort of level of proposed level of these guys, but if we just got Nkunku, Sancho, and Werner, for example, them three, if you go and watch where their stats came from in the Bundesliga, if you watch a highlights video of them, rarely will you see them in sort of under pressure, wriggling out of tight spaces, and they're relying on shit defending, open spaces to run into, real high lines, and just crap defending in the Bundesliga. Now, the difference with Wirtz, you can go and watch, obviously if you're watching for 90 minutes, great. People appreciate don't do that because not everyone's tuning into Bayer Leverkusen games. I'm not going to say I do either. But when I've watched Wirtz and obviously been on YouTube and watched highlights of Wirtz, he he's very. I think Silva's a great comp, and obviously, if you reach that level, he's worth every penny. We'll come to the fee in a minute. Just as yeah, I agree. I think he doesn't rely on tons of space. If anything, he operates in real tight spaces in those pockets, like you said, around the box. He drifts out wide. He's good central, pretty good long shooter from what I can see. And he's got he can get past people, like maybe one or two people, and then he finds the pass and his decision making looks good. So I think it's going to translate. I don't think we're going to have an Nkunku here because Wirtz doesn't rely on 30 yards of space behind a really high line that Dortmund are playing. It's different. So look, I think it's a mega deal, and I think in more ways than one, you touched on. It's the sort of deal that everybody takes note of, and doing it as the champions, which we can relate to. You in more recent history, me going back to like the end of the 2000s, where we did similar deals like this, not for the fee, obviously, but it does remind me of like we spoke about it. City going getting Bernardo and Mahrez after getting 100 points. United, we did it when it was like we won the league and then we went and got Nani, Anderson, and Hargreaves in that same summer, and then we won 2 in a row and we won the Champions League and was like we'll have Berbatov as well. We have Berbatov, Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo in the same team. It was just this is the power moves that you want your teams to make. Yes, the fee is absolutely astronomical. I mean, well, it's the highest by a distance. They have smashed the Premier League record by 30 million. But I honestly think it's the right thing to do in this era of football. And when you've won a league, I think I think they've done the right thing.
I hear you, and I know I like your point on he's not one of them players where he relies on physical attributes that he's dominated a league because of other people's low ability level. He doesn't strike me as that at all, and that's why I don't think that's going to be an issue. And I do call on teams for overpaying from certain leagues.
Yeah,
I just don't think that's going to be an issue with this particular signing. I think you're going to see him flourish. I don't think the physicality will be an issue either because of the way Florian Wirtz operates in tight spaces. I actually think it'll bring the best out of him, annoyingly. I'm a City fan. I did not want to see them strengthen. However, what I would say, it's good to see for the Premier League that we're holding weight and a player put his mark down and said, I want to go to Liverpool and the Prem rather than this bullshit Real Madrid obsession that fucking irritates me. Players running down contracts, going on frees. Forget who the team is. It is so irritating, and it's good to see that the Prem's getting better on a neutral point of view. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. Look, none of us know how things are going to translate, but I am excited, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't wish my team had got him.
I mean, look, he would have been perfect for City. I mean, there's no denying that, and he could very well be perfect for Liverpool because we might not have seen the total slot idea. Because he didn't get any signings in. Essentially, he got Chiesa in who he never bothered with. So, really, we don't fully know what maybe slot. A few of our subscribers are Liverpool fans, and they left some comments on the last Wirtz video that Slot's idea at Feyenoord was a bit more intricate play, less sprinting in behind, so less of your Diaz and more of your Wirtz. So look, we might get more of an idea of what Arne Slot wants to do as well for Liverpool. But I think you made a great point. And look, I ain't sitting here celebrating this signing because the concern is that Liverpool are now a powerhouse in Europe. This is a big dick move. This is the biggest thing they've done. Because the difference is like Van Dijk, he would cost 75 million, but they got him to try and propel them from 4th, 5th to 1st. And when they won the league, the COVID one, they went into that summer and didn't spend anything because I think the owners were like, you got Alisson, you got Van Dijk, you got Fabinho. Yeah. I think they got Thiago for 25 million, who was a little bit past his best, although a great player. So I think this is the first time where I'm actually sitting there as a rival fan going, this feels like a power move in more ways than one. Very good player. Also, it's like, we can compete with the big boys. We can outbid City. We can out-project City to this guy. And that's a shock to me because I think we did it 3-4 weeks ago. We did a Wirtz to City episode. And honestly, if you would have said to me there and then, Liverpool are going to chuck their name in the hat, I would have said he'll pick City or Bayern. I would have had them third. I might have had them below Madrid.
Yeah, Alex, I would. I couldn't agree more with you. I thought it was a two-horse race between Bayern and City. I thought it felt like City were going to go all out on this one, and they would pay whatever. And to be fair,
Yeah,
that could have been true. It could have been true that we would
yeah,
have been prepared to pay the fees that Liverpool have. But yeah, no, fair play to Liverpool, man. Look, they put the foot down. I mean, big up to Arne Slot as well. He didn't get what he wanted in the first year. I can't imagine he wanted to go to Liverpool and them given absolutely nothing and say, go and do your best. He threw down the gauntlet, went and won the league, and he's now gone. Now it's up to you. And he's turned to them and they've said, right, fair enough. And they've given him what he wants. So, Alex, this is huge. It really is. And to be fair, him coming in while your best players are at their peak, which are Salah, your Van Dijks, that their midfield looks brilliant from last year. It's daunting for the rest of the Premier League. And I just wanted to touch on this, Alex. Obviously, City, my club, are strengthening him. I'm personally happy with the work we've done in the window. Yes, would I highlight Wirtz as well, but you can't get everyone. I am pretty impressed with our work. What do you think this means for Arsenal? And how, if you were an Arsenal fan, would you be seriously concerned at this stage?
I mean, yeah. Look, we don't know what they're going to do. It looks like Zubamendi's over the line, who's good.
Yeah.
But even that confuses me a little bit because they're going down this Rice isn't a DM route again, where we've had, but you did have Partey in the squad, so I guess it was a good utilisation of what you had available to you. Where, we've got Partey, we might as well play him. This is now you're doubling down and going all out that Rice isn't a DM, which is a surprise to me because I thought Rice was going to play at the base of that midfield. If you remember, going into that season of Rice, it was Rice, Havertz and Odegaard. And
that's what he was bought for. No one can argue with that.
Yeah, they were going to do that. Now they've completely gone away. Now they've gone Zubamendi. They're all in now on Rice being an 8.
Yeah.
I think Rice is very good. I don't know if he's very good as an 8. I just think that, what is he going to... I think of what Gundogan gave you and what Reinders might give you, and I'm like... And what McAllister gives Liverpool. And I'm not even just talking stats here. I'm talking about how good they are offensively. I don't know how many goals McAllister got off the top of my head, but I think he's a key cog in getting Liverpool playing.
Yeah.
I don't see Rice as that player. He can break through a bit, and he's dangerous-ish, but I don't... He's a defensive midfielder to me. I don't get it. I don't understand why they just gone, oh, now he's a box-to-box midfielder. He's physically immense. That he's an unbelievable athlete. I get it. But you're now going, well, I'll tell you what, Odegaard has to do... If Rice is your 8, Odegaard has to be big time because he can't be shit in the bed like he did last season. Or there's no chance.
I agree because as good as he is box to box, you do lose attributes from a talented number 8 that you don't gain in Rice. So therefore, you need that from your 10. You need your 10 to be probably Wirtz level. And Odegaard is not. We've seen this. We've seen you can't rely on him. He's not world class. There's arguments on whether he can become that, but he certainly isn't right now. So I'd be concerned if I was them. We see Rodrigo's just posted that picture on his Instagram saying he's happy around Madrid. I could have told you that. The only way he leaves that club is if they boot him out.
Yeah.
Players don't leave Real Madrid if Real Madrid don't say.
Why do they play him? I mean, where would he even play? Is Rodrigo that much better than Martin? Is he moving the needle? I think he's better than Martinelli, but I don't think it moves mountains to the degree of... Well, look, they're chasing Liverpool as it is. If you put Wirtz in, unless Wirtz is a massive flop, and to be honest, even if he is a flop, they've still got their core forwards. Chiesa never bothered playing. You've still got Gakpo, Diaz, Nunes, Salah, Jota. So, look, I mean, God forbid for Liverpool fans, but even if he is, they've just won the league without Wirtz, and you're adding him into the mix. I do not expect Wirtz to make them worse. So what are you telling me Rodrigo over Martinelli is going to close a potential 20-point gap? It's just madness.
Yeah, it's not. Mate, they're still going to be in this situation where it's like, oh, we need a number 9. So that obviously they're hoping Sesko. But I don't think Sesko's good enough. Me and you, we made you a video on that, to be fair, because I know we both sort of align on our points on him. Yeah, I do sort of agree with you. I do rate Rodrigo probably a bit more highly than you do, only because I've seen him against my club and he's been a bit of a kryptonite for us.
Yeah.
However, yeah, I do know what you're alluding to. I don't think he brings them on enough to win a league or to challenge Liverpool, especially with them just going and fucking big dicking and going getting verse. Plus, you look at the other areas they've strengthened, bro. Kirkes, one of the best left backs in the league. Frimpong, they've also took from Leverkusen, who, yes, he defensively there's question marks, but with every fucking fullback there is these days, ain't no, he's got defensive frailties as well. They're all just mint going forward. But the amount Liverpool will have the ball, especially now they've got bloody Wirtz, is that really going to be that much of an issue? Plus, Frimpong's coming in for Trent, who was probably one of the most suspect defenders in that position anyway. So they're not. It's nothing's changing, and athletically, he's better than Trent.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, he's probably a bit better set up to deal with pace, which Trent struggled with a lot. But also, like you said, they're set up to deal with a weak link in that back line. Konate is one of the best athletes in the league, and he's covered Trent since he's been at the club. So, look,
I think they've got a perfect mix, Alex, of like your younger athletic build players and your older, very smart heads, and it's just a grim prospect. I hope they don't blow the league away. But I think it's going to be tough to keep pace. I mean, you'd have to say City are probably the ones you'd look at as well. But there's a lot of ifs and buts. There's a lot of if Cherky comes in and he's this level.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, well, if Wirtz comes in and he isn't that level, they're still the best team in the league.
Oh.
So,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Whereas we need Cherky to come in and we need him to be elite to get back. So there's a lot of question marks. But, mate, it builds for one hell of a season. I think we're all looking forward to it. And, mate, this is just the start of the transfer window as well. Are they going to go and do more business? We know they didn't spend last year. They can easily go and drop some more money. There's a lot of talk, and I watched an ESPN video, and they were saying they fancy him as a false nine. Personally, I'm not a big fan of going spending 150 million euro on a player and playing him out of position. I just think that makes no sense to anyone. I'd be immensely shocked if Slot goes and does it, because he had a conversation with Wirtz, and it was like widely reported that Wirtz was very impressed, and that's hence why he went with the project. I doubt them conversations consisted of, I'm going to put you as a false nine out of position and not in your favoured. You know what I mean? That's not going to be the promises he received. So,
yeah. I think, yeah. I mean, obviously, shout out the Liverpool fan who commented on our last video about Wirtz actually replacing Diaz. I can't remember your username. Maybe you're watching this. If you are, shout out in the comments. Appreciate you watching the content. But he said to me, Diaz out, Wirtz inside that little pocket, and then you leave Kirkes to do what he wants to do on the left.
Yeah.
The more I think about that, the more I'm thinking, I think Wirtz is of that level where I actually wouldn't be shocked if Nunes actually got a few goals all of a sudden. That's how I honestly think you are going to see creation now. I mean, the thing is as well, like the Salah operates in that very specific square of the box.
Yeah.
Appreciate he cuts inside if he has it. If he doesn't have it, he's at the back post for the tap-ins. If Wirtz is in this inside left position, you're going to see a lot of Wirtz to Salah play. Now, that sounds good if you're a Liverpool fan, because Wirtz is a very good passer. Salah's amazing at doing that one. Well, he's amazing at a few things, but he's very, very good at that. His efficiency coming in, timing his runs and getting on the end of those crosses. Obviously, usually Robertson, Gakpo. Now you're thinking, well, is Wirtz going to be doing this? And even if Wirtz is a 10, that brings him closer to Salah. This is the first time where they've got a player of similar ability to Salah offensively, because Mane was good, but I don't think he was as good as Salah. I think it was always Salah was the better one out of the two. Firmino was a unique player, and then they had a midfield three that worked very hard. And then Nunes hasn't worked, Jota's in and out, and Gakpo is okay, and Diaz is okay. Now I'm actually thinking they've legitimately got two best players. I wouldn't be shocked if Wirtz has a better season than Salah next year. That's how good he is.
Yeah, I get your point, mate. I think creatively, they've got significantly better because obviously, yes, they've lost the Trent, so the worry was all the creativity had to come through Salah, and now suddenly it's like, don't worry about it. Salah, you can almost take a backseat. You can do what you do best. I'll take the mantle in certain areas, and that is a frightening prospect. So, I genuinely am looking forward to seeing it. I've just got a quick question for you though, Alex. So, Look, we've give our genuine opinions on the transfer. Me and you both like it. Personally, they are our genuine opinions on it. However, just to play devil's advocate, look, he is coming in for a British record transfer fee. It is huge, €150 million. Now, we've seen other players come in, your club signed Pogba, my club Grealish. I'm not making direct comparisons between the players before anyone moans. I'm just saying sometimes them price tags weigh heavy. Do you think the pressure is massively on Wirtz?
No doubt. I mean, Christian. Yeah, I'll tell you what. You've kind of transitioned into something I was going to bring up. So let's just go through the top 10 Prem signings.
Yeah,
we'll go from 1 to 10. I'm not going to read the fees out. They're between 120 and €85 million. Enzo Fernandez, we mentioned earlier, is the most expensive signing. Jack Grealish 2, Declan Rice 3, Caicedo 4, Lukaku 5, Pogba 6, Anthony 7, Gvardiol 8, Maguire 9, Darwin Núñez 10. Now, out of those 10 players, who do you actually look back and go, I would, with hindsight, would go back and do that deal again? We'll go through him again. Enzo Fernandez, 120 million, ridiculous. Would never do that again.
Never.
Jack Grealish, no way you'd do that again.
No.
Declan Rice.
He's the only one where you could say, yes, they overpaid, but it has worked. So I'd let that slide. I suppose that's a bit of a...
I'll put Rice and Caicedo in the category of good players, but way too much money. But it's not flop. I wouldn't say they're not flops. The rest we are talking. Fernandez, flop for the money. Grealish, flop. Lukaku, flop. Pogba, show moments, but overall a flop. Anthony, biggest flop of all time. Gvardiol, well, you're a City fan. I don't believe you go back and spend €90 million on Gvardiol. He's a centre-back, come left-back, come centre-back, come left-back. Like, what is he? Maguire, 80, ridiculous signing. And Darwin Núñez, 85 million, and he's not very good. So what you're doing is you're going, well, the top 10 signings of all time, we've just said 2 of them are in the good category. And we're not even going, with hindsight, would you still do the deal for Caicedo? I don't know if you would. So out of them 10, there's an argument to be made that all of them are, I'd say the majority of them are 4 out of 10 or less. Yeah. Caicedo and Rice, I'll give a 7 out of 10 deal-wise. Maybe push Rice to an 8. So you're putting Wirtz at the top of the tree. What are we going to look back in? What I would say to you, Christian, is your club signed Kevin De Bruyne from Wolfsburg for 60 million, going way back to 2015-16. If De Bruyne, you've watched his whole career. If De Bruyne cost your club 150 million, you would go back and do that deal 10 times out of 10. So it's not like this can't be worth it, because if Wirtz is the best number 10 in the league, which for the fee, this is where we're grading him, by the way.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because Liverpool fans are going to be the first ones to go, they were all over Pogba, they're all over everyone, and rightly so. There's no arguments here. I was never sat there going, you can accept Anthony being shit. It's unacceptable. And rival fans are right to go, Gvardiol cost 90 million and he's costing you goals and red cards weekly. So they're right to do that. But I just want to let you know, if Wirtz is not very good, the pressure is going to mount, because he isn't just one of the most. He has smashed the transfer record in the Premier League. So
It's Alex, and it's not just about, because I know a lot of Liverpool fans could maybe watch this and say, but it doesn't matter because we're already the best. So he has that luxury of being able to fit in. No, you don't. Not when you come in at that transfer fee and on them wages. By the way, I know we had a lot of discussions in the chat on that video we posted, and some of them boys they thought that I was delusional for saying I think he's going to be close to the 400 grand mark. Well, it's widely reported that it's 355 grand a week. By the way, that's 5 grand more than Salah's last contract. And we know what Salah had to do to deserve that contract. Believe me, there is pressure on this young lad. And he's got to come in and do it. Now, and I'm not talking about pressure from Liverpool fans. You might afford him the luxury. The rest of the league won't, though. And we know how horrible this league is. Look at the state of what the rest of the teams do to Grealish. I mean, you talk about mentally the hit he must have took off the back of that transfer. It's not just about, we'll let him, they can afford to settle in because we won't get him. Yeah, but everyone else fucking will. So,
here's the flip side. and I agree with everything you're saying, by the way, and I will be judging Florian Wirtz. Look, 10 games, 12, 15 games, I appreciate there's going to be some bedding in here. But come Christmas, he has got to be one of the best attackers in the league.
Yeah.
Or this is not going to be a good signing.
No, Alex, like you said about the De Bruyne one, he's got to come in, not saying De Bruyne level, he's got to come in and be the best number 10 in the world for this deal to make sense. Because he's come in and the transfer has told us that he is the best number 10 in the world. So go and prove it. And that's the pressure that I'm talking about. But listen,
what I would say, just on the flip side of that with the De Bruyne is if hypothetically he cost 150 million, his career as a whole at City would have been worth it. I think Wirtz is going to have time to reach levels. But when you watched De Bruyne in 2015-16, you could see he was going to be great. That's what I'm saying with Wirtz. Wirtz is not going to be... Is he 21, 22? I don't know how old the lad is. Like, De Bruyne wasn't the best number 10 in the world in his first season, but you could see it was coming, and then Guardiola came in, and we know the rest is history. What we want to see from Wirtz is come Christmas time, he is influencing games. I know he's young, but I'm not saying he has to be. I mean, look, I fully expect some of the other great number 10s in the Prem to be maybe have a better start than Wirtz, but come Christmas, you want to see, you know what, this guy's going to be scary next year, or this guy's going to be scary in February or March, and that's what I think. I think that's a fair metric. It'd be interesting to see what Liverpool fans are thinking. Just one other thing before you go on this. I do think that they are in a bonus situation of similar to Grealish, where Grealish has come under severe flack this year because City have fell off. Now, if your team's winning, you don't get hammered as much because what are the media... Say they win 3-0 on a Monday Night Football, Wirtz is a 6 out of 10, Salah gets a hat-trick. They're not going to spend a big segment on Monday Night Football talking about Wirtz because Liverpool have won 3-0 and Salah is... You're going to wax lyrical over him again. So it does mask it. Now, here comes the flip side. If Liverpool aren't winning like last year, that's when the pressure's going to... Well, hang on a minute. You won the league last year and you added the most expensive player in Premier League history to your squad. That's when the pressure could come on him. So it'd be interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, I assume you agree on Liverpool winning will protect Wirtz if he needs it.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, we did see it with Grealish. I will add he did still get hammered. But yeah, it was certainly a lot worse when the chips are down. You know what I mean? And that's ultimately what you could see. But I agree with what you said as well. You know, you want to see from him, like we knew when Chelsea signed Enzo and we watched his first few games, we were like, right, I mean, they're fucked up. Like, this is never... What they've paid is stupid. You're going to know that quite quickly. And that's all you want to see. You just want to see... You want to be able to judge with your eyes and go, I get why they've done this deal. Which, by the way, anyone, you know, if you've watched the whole video, if you get up to here, you should know both our opinions do align on this. I do think it makes sense. I've watched quite a bit of Wirtz, and I think the guy's fucking class. Like I said, I don't think the physical attributes will be a problem in the league, because I think his general ability actually will flourish and you'll see the best of him. Overall, I think, mate, this is a great pickup. Look, congrats Liverpool, they got it over the line, and yeah, what a season it's going to make.
Well, just before we wrap up on this, Christian, I think 150 million is a massive investment. In theory, you could spend 75 million twice. However, what I will say is that Liverpool are in a position where they can go all in on blackjack here because they've just won the league. So to them, really, do they need two £75 million players? I suppose because you're not going to get a great striker for 75 mil. You're not. We've been through the pool. Isaac would probably have cost... He's not even on the table, so you can forget Isaac. Alvarez would have been maybe more than this. So, really...
What's it, Alex? With what's Sesko going for?
So what... Liverpool might have gotten worse if they signed Sesko and another guy for 70 mil. There's no guarantee. And like you said before, they've probably got money to do more business anyway. It's not like they've gone, we can't replace Trent or Robertson, but we've got your Wirtz. They've replaced Trent, they've replaced Robertson, and they've added Wirtz. So I think I think going up chips in this situation. If you're in a rebuild and you're fourth, like when they had Van Dijk, Alisson, Fabinho summer or year, it was in the 12-month period. They had to. They needed a keeper. They needed a centre back. They needed a DM. Now let's go. We did them. We did them team of the season. I think we put 5 of their players in team of the season. And to be honest, the ones that didn't make it had good years anyway. So it's just that they're in a very, very healthy situation where, say United, it makes no sense us doing that deal, even if Wirtz lost his head and considered it, because we would be better spending 50 million 3 times and hopefully getting better in 3 areas. Liverpool don't need to do that. So
I think, no, you make a great point. I think this is what I was saying the other day. In terms of, do I think Liverpool or City got the better deal? I don't think that's even a conversation anymore. I think it can't really be compared because Liverpool are established and are currently a much better side in most positions on the pitch.
Yeah.
So City needed to strengthen in multiple areas. I do genuinely think City going and strengthening and getting multiple good, really solid players in different positions benefits us. But I also think Liverpool going and getting their marquee signing in one position benefits them. I don't think there's one right, one wrong. It's where both clubs are at. It's a remarkable deal, and I suppose Liverpool have seen it as, look, this is a once in a lifetime sort of opportunity. Wirtz wants to come to us. Madrid aren't going all out for once, Wirtz was attracted by the project, and if this works out, they're going to have him. I mean, I think he is 22. They're going to have him for potentially 10 solid years.
Yeah, I can't echo your thoughts any better. I do think that he would have been fantastic at City. But I do also acknowledge your points that City did need a left back. City do need a right back still.
Yeah.
City did need a number 10. You did need a number 8. City did, and you need a winger still. Maybe need a goalkeeper. So I know City have got very blessed with the amount of money you have, but you have got to be selective. I do, but obviously you would have took Wirtz, there's no doubt. I mean, I would have took Wirtz, even though wouldn't have been the wisest thing for my team, because I know we've got to spend in other areas and we've got no money. So, but he's obviously in that talent level and age where, we talk about signing 21-year-olds and 22-year-olds and we go, oh, risky. What we're expecting from Wirtz is very good from August, world class in February. That's what or maybe next season world class. But, that's what Liverpool fans are thinking. We want this guy to be winning PFA Player of the Season, maybe in 2 years' time. And I think that's a fair measuring stick. But I'm sure, look, I think that Liverpool fans are buzzing. I know they watched our last video and they all seem very happy. Obviously, some of the comments were 85 million fee and less money than Van Dijk, Salah. Obviously, those guys might be watching this video. Obviously, you got to appreciate you guys were well off the mark with that. The fee is astronomical, but the player might be as well. So, you guys, I think that, like you said, you've got to enjoy these moments to win the league and go and get Wirtz. From where they were a year ago with Slot coming in, I remember watching the fans on the overlap and they were like, fucking Chiesa, and that's it. And you think he's going to be able to do anything with this? All of a sudden, Slot looks an amazing manager. And you've now gone and your midfield is all of a sudden amazing. And you add Wirtz. So, incredible, really, 12 months for Liverpool, as much as it pains me to say it.
Same.
So, like you said, Christian, it's moves and counter moves. And really, you mentioned Arsenal before. If Arsenal really want to punch back here, they need to be going to Newcastle and going, what is it going to take for Isaac? Is it 170 million? Because we are well behind Liverpool as it is, and they've just gone and got Florian Wirtz. City are a different entity because Guardiola's a genius. If I'm Arsenal, I'm going, we need to punch back here, even just morally. Like, forget actually on the pitch. So I would be going to Newcastle. I'd forget Garnacho. I'd forget Sesko. I'd forget Zubamendi even. And I would just go, we'll get one player this year and it's Isaac. And at least, in my opinion, puts their name in the hat. And at least Liverpool, the minute, go and get Sesko, go and get Garnacho. They're not bothered. They're not even looking over the shoulder, mate. If they went and got Isaac, I guarantee Liverpool fans will be like, right, we've got to be on it from the get-go now.
Alex, I agree. I think people forget as well, City got blasted last year for the way we played, rightfully so, by the way, me probably more than most. However, the consensus was Arsenal are one player off. No, they're not. They were regressing. Arsenal managed to finish just above City at the end of the season.
Yeah.
They were struggling. Now, I don't think you could just go, one player, they win the league. No, that's not the signs I was seeing at the end of the season. They need an Isaac to put them back, like you say, to put their name back in the hat. They need a fucking counterpunch right now. And I tell you what, Benjamin Sesko, that's a wet paper bag fucking punch, that, mate, because that ain't getting nowhere, and it ain't getting nowhere near Liverpool. So
no, they need a wilder right hand, and they've got an Amir Khan one at the minute.
Yeah, and unfortunately they've got an Amir Khan chin as well.
Yeah, the fans have got Amir Khan's chin. Yeah. No, man, look, I can't wait. I think it's going to be a good title race. I do think City are going to be locked in. They're not going to get rolled over. But Liverpool want a dynasty, and I don't fucking blame them. I think I said it on the last episode, Christian. They have been lurking around, waiting for City to have a drop-off.
Yeah.
Now is the time to go all in, and they've gone all in. As a rival fan, I think they are doing the exact thing I would want. If United would dot like fourth and third and second, and then we won one, and then you pounce on weakness. So City have shown a little bit of this. The City machine has got cracks in from last season.
Yeah.
Now is your time. Don't go, oh no, we won the league, we're all right. You go and you put your foot down. You put your foot on City's throat and you push down on it. And that's what this move does in not just on the pitch, but also it sends a message to the whole league, really, and the whole of Europe. Because, I mean, they were a penalty shootout from beating PSG. So,
yeah,
the way I'm looking at it is if they'd have got past Donnarumma in a shootout, which is difficult, they probably could have won the Champions League last year without Wirtz. So,
yeah,
I mean, that's a separate question, isn't it, how they're going to perform in that. But, yeah.
I think I'm looking forward to seeing it. Rival fan or not, we're always excited when new players come to the league and when new marquee signings have chosen the Prem. It's exciting time. So we'll see. I just hope City players that our new signings come in at a high level, and we don't become fucking Project FC next year FC. So hopefully we have a right battle on our hands next year and the Prem is high level because it looks that way. So I'm looking forward to it.
No, I'm looking forward to seeing Wirtz. Just a shame it's in this capacity. But enjoy it, Liverpool fans. I'm sure you are enjoying this news today. If there's any Liverpool fans, hit us up in the comments. What do you think about the signing? Where do you think he's going to play? Obviously, me and Christian spoke about maybe replacing Diaz and keeping the Szoboszlai 10 rolling for another year. What do you guys think? Appreciate you guys watching. If you've enjoyed it, hit a like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what you think. And we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, Christian.
Cheers, guys.